Did you know that we are eating more fish than ever before? In 1961, we were eating 9 kilos per person, but in 2015, the amount had risen to 20 kilos. And we always eat the same kinds: salmon, tuna, tropical prawns, cod, and little else. In many countries, eating fish is a necessity, since it's the only accessible source of protein. In richer countries, people are eating more fish for dieting purposes, or simply because it's fashionable. The global south is exporting more and more fish to the global north. So what lies behind the fish we eat? Until the 1950s, fishing boats were small and techniques were sustainable and selective. Today, huge factory ships with drag nets and radar systems are destroying the ocean floor and biodiversity. A third of the world's fishing resources are overexploited, and 60% are at the limits of sustainability. Much of the fish that we eat comes from farms, which do not constitute an alternative because they cause pollution and because farmed fish eat other fish. To gain 1 kilo of weight, a salmon eats up to 5 kilos of wild fish. Fertilizers, radioactive waste, oil, and plastic all end up in the sea. There are even 5 plastic islands in the oceans, one of them the size of France. Bits of plastic end up in the stomachs of fish, and therefore end up on our plates too. Due to climate change, the oceans are warming and acidifying, while sea levels are rising and threatening coastlines. Things must change, and they can. With its Slow Fish campaign, Slow Food is building a network of fishers, consumers, activists, researchers, and chefs who are all working to save artisanal fishing and promote responsible consumption. Slow Food is working with small-scale fishers from all over the world, promoting so-called poor, relatively unknown fish, and defending the biodiversity of oceans, lakes, and rivers. Do you realise that you too can do a lot to help? Learn to vary. Little-known fish and algae are often cheaper and tastier. Look for fish of the right size. Every species has a minimum size below which it shouldn't be fished, sold, and eaten. Avoid eating farmed carnivorous fish and opt for species such as bivalves that grow sustainably. Go for local fish and learn to read labels. Remember that even fish are seasonal. Speak to your fishmonger or find a fisher you trust, and don't be afraid to ask them when and where your fish was caught.